Should I pull up the script or should we just wing it?
I'll just wing it.
Okay.
If I fuck up the one fucking line, I'll go back and read it.
Yeah.
Welcome to Synchronize Swatches. I fucked it up.
Gentlemen, Synchronize Swatches. Not a problem.
Welcome to Synchronize Swatches, your twice monthly dose of coolness. I'm your host, Chris Gregory.
And I'm the other guy, Chip Johnson.
And today, we're here with a little bonus episode. We're going to do a couple little things, a little something different here, since this is an off week. We have a little segment we want to present to you, and then...
It'd probably be a recurring segment, knowing us.
Yeah. We're probably well past the point where it should have been a recurring segment. But and then after that, we're going to intro what we're posting up this week, because we're posting a little bonus content this week in the middle of our little Ferris Bueller recap. So I guess we can kick off with our first segment, which is our apologies, which
we like to call...
We're so sorry.
Thank you, Paul. The other Paul.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, man, that was really good. So, the first apology comes from me. In a previous episode, the one you're currently watching, maybe if you can get a hold of Ferris Bueller somewhere.
Yeah.
In our episode, I referenced the movie Nuns on the Run, and like a stupid son of a bitch, I mistaken Gene Wilder for Eric Idle. Or vice versa. I mistaken Eric Idle for Gene Wilder. I went back to look and correct myself after the fact, and of course there's Eric Idle's face, and I thought, son of a bitch. So I know that everybody listening was probably very upset, and
screaming at their podcast.
All I can say is I'm very sorry, and I'll try to do better in the future.
We're so sorry.
That's apology number one.
Number one, yes. There's more than one.
The next one was just was an oversight. I mean, we tend to have a lot of those in our research. But in the Ferris Bueller pilot, the character Sloane was played by Amy Dolenz, and we totally missed that is actually the daughter of Mickey Dolenz, who most people will know from the Monkees. He was the drummer and vocalist. One of the vocalists of the Monkees, the 60s pop rock band. I don't know. How would you define that?
Pop
I mean,
rock band. That sounds good.
Yeah. And of course, they had their TV show, The Monkees, which
it's completely nuts.
was way before our time, but I think because of Nick at Night and stuff like that, like it was definitely part of our childhood. You know, at least part of my childhood growing up. I watched the Monkees
for sure,
all the time. But yeah, we totally missed that that connection. If we done any digging at all, any Googling.
Or even connected dots in our own brains, since we know who Mickey Dolenz is.
Yeah, and I mean, I mentioned this to Chris off the air, but like Dolenz definitely stuck in my head. I was like, oh yeah, Mickey Dolenz, but I didn't think to be like, oh, any relation? Let me look it up. Fucking idiot. So
we're so sorry.
Paul McCartney's going to come after us for using that.
Yeah. God damn it. Okay, so our last little oversight / apology. This actually occurred to me when I was watching the episode. The character of the greaser, when he's inside the hallway, when he's not wearing his glasses, looked familiar to me. But it kind of came home to me this weekend, because I was watching Point Break, because... I may or may not have seen that before watching it this weekend.
Well, let's be honest, Chris.
If you've listened to the episode, you've heard Chip try to do his little top 3 Keanu Reeves, reference Point Break, and you see the panic in my face, and I'm like, shit, I haven't seen that. Everybody I know has seen it. They all reference it, but I've never seen it. Just like Heather's. All right, now I've seen it, okay? One of these days, I'm going to fucking find some movies that you haven't seen. I'm going to bring it up live. And,
good luck, sir.
And it won't be a baseball movie, because I know none of those you've seen. That's cheat code right there. So
yeah, anyway. That is. I've seen Field of Dreams.
Yeah. Good for you. All right, so yeah, so the oversight was our greaser friend was played by Bo Jesse Christopher, and you know when I saw him in the movie, I was like, hold on a second, and then I searched because I didn't even make the connection that the greaser and the guy in the hallway were the same character. When I searched him, and Ferris Bueller, that's the picture that popped up. So once again, we'd like to say
We're so sorry.
I would submit, though, that this is really more on you as a fan of that movie than me, a person who's never seen that movie, to not have recognized Mr. Christopher. Just saying.
Touche,
It's more like
sir.
you're so sorry.
Touche.
All right.
Oh shit.
And
Well,
so
I have
ends-
to say too,
Go ahead.
when you came across this, the screen grab that you texted me
Yeah.
was fucking great. And I'll put this up on the YouTube version of this. I'll do a screen grab of that what you sent
Okay.
me because so for those listening, it was was that from a wiki page?
it's got to be like a Ferris wiki or something.
a Ferris wiki page, and it was a page for quote unquote greaser, the greaser character.
Yeah.
It got a picture of Bo Jesse Christopher there, but then it has like his name and and below it says enemies, and it lists his enemies, which of course is Ed Rooney. But I just thought it's just such a weird thing to list. It's almost like a fucking role playing game character
Yeah.
or something that you could pick. It was
Yeah.
such a bizarre write
like
up.
a class or something.
Yeah.
It's very funny, yeah.
Oh god.
It's funny, too, because like now that I think about it, his name was Greaser on the wiki, which means he never got a fucking name.
Yeah.
In the
Yeah.
13 episodes. I don't know if he came back or not, but
Yeah.
anyway. So, yeah. There we go. That's our segment.
Oh, my box died.
We are so sorry.
There you go. Damn it. Batteries are dead.
What's that? You want to sign me to a record contract?
Step into a world of wonder.
Yeah, so a couple of times over the course of the podcast, we've referenced the fact that a decade ago we did another project, another podcast project called "The World It's Ass," and this was a project we did when. Well, you want to explain what you were doing at the time, Chip?
Yeah, so I mean, God, it's hard to believe it's been a decade. Yeah, like a little over a decade ago, I had realized that I was in my mid-30s and had never left the fucking country. Which back when I was a teenager, I would have thought by that point in my life I would have seen the world, but no such thing had happened.
Yeah.
And I just kind of had this early midlife crisis or something. I don't know. Sold the house, sold the car, sold pretty much everything I fucking owned, and just left. And the plan was originally to travel for 2 years nonstop.
Yeah.
That, for numerous reasons that came about, did not exactly happen. It still spanned about 2 years, but I hopped back and forth from travel back to the States, took a couple gigs, got a little bit of money, went back and stuff like that. But I did end up setting foot on 6 of the 7 continents, and a shit ton of countries. And yeah, I mean, it was probably the best decision I ever made in my life.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so Chris had the bright idea of like, hey, let's do a podcast while you're traveling. And I'm glad I mentioned this to you before when we did our like 10-year revisit of the podcast.
It was the finale because we never finished. We just stopped
Yes.
after like 17 episodes in the
Yeah.
middle of your travel. We just
Yeah,
stopped for a decade. So
And so on the one hand, I'm glad we did it because there is a record at least of the first part of the trip. I really wish we had kept it up, but I know that was pretty much on me just because I was in and up in places where little to no internet. It was hard to make these
There's a number
weekly
of
calls.
factors, yeah.
There's a number of factors. But I'm glad we did the little bit that we did because it is interesting to revisit it now and like, holy shit, I forgot about that stuff. But yeah, I mean, it was your idea to do a podcast, and I'm so glad we did it.
yeah, and it consisted basically of I don't remember if it was weekly or biweekly, but you would call via Skype wherever you were, and we just record an audio conversation where I just talk. I asked a few questions, made a few stupid jokes, and you you described what you had been doing basically, and you were also you're posting a blog or whatever at the same time, and photos and stuff like that. So what we're posting up this week is the first episode of that podcast, and it's from, I don't know, mid 2015, early 2015, maybe
September 2015. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I believe you're calling in from France at that point.
Hamburg.
Hamburg. Okay.
Yeah.
See,
yeah.
I probably should have done my fucking research on my own stupid show. So
I actually re-listened to it this morning because I was like, well,
Did
we're
you?
probably going
Okay.
to chat about it. I need to know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Yeah. Not me. I did listen to it last week. I listened to some of it last week because I was trying to think of like which one. I thought it would be cool to put one of these in the feed, and I was trying to think of which one would be a good one, and I was like, why don't we just do the first one, because that way people can listen to it if they want to, and if they like it, they can continue. There's not a ton of them, and they get shorter as we go. We made them a little more bite size as we went along, but the quality. I think you were recording in a stairwell in the first one, so so it's it's got a lot of echo, but it's not unlistenable. It's actually pretty good for something from a decade ago. Across across the ocean, in a stairwell. I think it sounds fairly good. So anyway, that's what's going to pop up in the feed, or that's what's going to pop up right after we get done talking here. Is the first ever episode of The World It's Ass.
Enjoy.
You guys were dangerous dudes, huh?
Welcome. You've discovered
The World It's Ass. Man, this room sucks ass.
you do what you can. It's better than that than having somebody like frying food in the background.
Banging pans and stuff. Well, at first
or
I was
sleeping.
At first I was the only person in the kitchen. I was like, okay, there's the dryer running because the laundry's in there too. But I was like, well, it's just a hum. I was like, that'll be okay. But then people came in and started doing stuff. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And like I say, in my room, that's where I was planning on doing it. But then I came back today, and like there's two people like asleep. I'm like, damn it. So
it's 8:00. What the fuck?
People, man, travelers, they sleep at all points of the day, man.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So just depending on like if they've been up for like 36 hours traveling or something.
Oh right.
So because these were people that just got in. They weren't here in the hostel yesterday, so.
Oh, okay.
I imagine they were traveling, but
that's cool.
Yeah, because like when I got into Copenhagen, I got in at 6 a.m. Couldn't check into the hostel till 4 p.m. and I was just up. I'd been up by that point when I checked into the hostel. I'd been up for like 36 hours, I think.
Jesus.
And, and then I was like, all right,
hold on, just a second. Let me introduce the thing, and then you can.
Oh
continue.
shit! Okay, yeah, we're rolling.
It's no problem. This is The World That's Ass. I'm Chris, the host. I'm talking to Chip. He's currently in Europe, and he's planning to travel the world for the next year. Go.
Go.
It's like Carmen Sandiego with swearing. Go.
Awesome. So yeah, anyways, like 4 o'clock, and I checked in. I'm like, all right, I'm just going to go to sleep for a couple hours and just kind of recoup. And of course, as soon as I get in the room, I'm like wide awake. I can't go to sleep. So
right.
I just stayed up the rest of the night. Didn't go to sleep till like midnight our time. So by the end of the night, I was a mess. But
yeah, I can't imagine.
So, but yeah, so hopefully in the future, like I'll be able to find a better place to do this, so the audio will be better. But
yeah, that's cool. You got to do what you got to do, I guess. I kind of expected the fact that you're even able to do it is pretty incredible.
Right.
But,
exactly.
I was kind of expecting there to be, little things like that. So it's all good.
Just atmosphere, people walking down the steps and slamming the door.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that.
Like that.
Did you hear that? Okay.
Yeah. Nicely timed, whoever that was.
Yeah.
That's cool. Well, tell everybody what you're doing what your plan is, and then maybe just sort of give us like the catalyst for for doing this. If you go from there.
Well, so yeah, the goal is to take a year and travel around the world and see as much as I can.
Mhm.
So the plan was to leave on my 37th birthday, August 31st, which I did, and then come back on my 38th birthday. So, as stupidly poetic as that is, I decided to do that.
Right.
And the main reason was just, it's something I've always wanted to do.
Right.
And it's something I've always wanted to do since I was like in my early 20s. I almost did it then, and then let life get in the way. It's always something. And like, always like, well, maybe next year I'll do this. And, maybe next year. And then I ended up 36 and I still hadn't left the freaking country. So,
Right.
yeah, so that's the whole thing. It's like, I just got to do it before I get too freaking old. I had an epiphany, I guess, back in October that, I was cursing myself at like 21 for not doing this. And then I just had this vision of me as 55-year-old Chip cursing 36-year-old me for not doing it now when I had a chance to do it, when I had nothing tying me down. So once I kind of saw myself through like my 55-year-old self's eyes, if that makes any sense, I just realized I could in a way go back and change history in a weird way. So yeah, so that was the whole reason behind trying to do this. So where were we?
You were just talking about traveling into the future or something. You're talking about seeing
travel
through your future's eyeballs or some shit.
I was talking time travel.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, so I guess the final epiphany was, I kind of like saw through my eyes as a 55-year-old, and I saw 36-year-old Chip not do this, and I was cursing myself, and I'm like, well, shit, I can change this. So that was it. That was like, screw it, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
So that's when I decided to sell all my stuff, and except a camera and a laptop to document the trip and sell the house.
It's kind of cool to see, like, the first place you go is already like 10 times more beautiful than anything you see around here.
Right. Yeah. No, Copenhagen was great. But yeah, it's just like, I think it was a good place to start my trip too, because it's it's just a beautiful city, and it's just easy to get around. And the picture, I'm really happy with the pictures that came out from that. I got a ton more that I haven't posted yet that I'm going to use like on my blog post.
And we'll probably this will probably be posted to that as well. Whenever it's
yes.
Whenever it's finished. When you get back.
Yeah, exactly. 3 years from now.
Yeah, exactly. Well, how was the actual travel? I mean, I know you've flown quite a bit, but you've never flown out of the country. What was that like?
Never flown out of the country. As far as duration of the flight, it was nothing, because I've done a lot of long flights, just even within the U.S., like to Alaska, to Hawaii. So the Hawaii flight was brutal, man. That was a long one.
Yeah.
So this
that's
one,
right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, this one is nothing really as far as flight. And then, had a layover in the Reykjavik airport in Iceland. And so that was actually I guess I should preface this too, like, for the listeners, that this is the first time I've ever left the country. So, I decided to do it and just go all in for a year.
Yeah.
Well, besides Tijuana, but I don't count that as really leaving the country. So just being in the Iceland, or the Reykjavik airport in Iceland was like my first little like taste of just like, I don't understand anything that's written here. Like, I don't understand this language, and
no one's here to help me.
Yeah. And then that's actually where I thought my passport wouldn't be stamped until I got into Copenhagen, like my final destination. But it was actually stamped in Iceland, and they'd never even looked at my passport in Copenhagen. So like, even though I didn't stop in Iceland, I was just in the airport. I had to go through customs there and get my passport checked, but not through Copenhagen. So it was weird that that's when it happened.
Is Iceland part of the EU, or do you know?
It is. It is.
Okay,
so,
maybe that's what.
So I guess, but like I would have figured it was just a stop, but I don't know. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, maybe just entering the EU, you get a stamp.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
So yeah, no, that's so Iceland. You had like an hour layover, and like I was just kind of walking around the airport looking for some food, and like I couldn't understand anything. I'm like, oh god,
Yeah.
it starts here. So, but no, I've been fortunate, like especially like in Copenhagen. I mean, everybody speaks English as a second language, and they speak it very well, which makes me feel horrible. That I'm like, can you please speak to me in English? Because I don't understand anything. I did.
At least you didn't demand it.
Yeah, no. And I learned a couple words in Danish. Like I learned tak, which is thank you. So at least try to communicate a little bit in their language. And that's what I want to do anytime I'm in a foreign country is at least try to make an effort to learn a few words to try to communicate.
Right.
Just because, I don't want to be that American. It's like, you're in America, you have to speak my language, English. And then when they go overseas, they're like, you need to speak English, even though I'm in your country now. Like, I don't want to be that guy.
Right.
But no, I've been fortunate.
Speak American, damn it.
Yeah, speak American. Yeah, exactly. So I don't want to be that guy. But I've been really fortunate that most people I've dealt with, I'll say a couple words, in Danish, whatever, and then they realize I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Yeah. Why don't you stop? We speak English.
Yeah, exactly. So like,
you are insulting our entire country right now.
So everybody's been very nice. There's been a couple moments where there's been a language barrier, but not too bad. But yeah, Copenhagen was great.
Have any of the like I always imagined if at this point if you went over there, you could use like a Google Translate or something like that. Has that been useful at all?
Okay. So I have that on my phone, and it's very useful, but I have not been able to implement it yet because this is a whole situation too that I'm dealing with right now with my phone. Because before I left, like 6 months before I left, I contacted AT&T. I said I went through this whole form that you have to fill out to get your phone unlocked so you can use other SIM cards.
Yeah.
I did this like 6 months in advance, fill out all the form that you have to do, and then they sent me an email saying your phone is unlocked. You just have to restore, like wipe it clean, restore it through iTunes, and then it'll be like officially unlocked. So I did that, and stupidly didn't test it before I left the States.
Right.
And I get to Copenhagen, I buy a little prepaid SIM card there in Copenhagen, and with some minutes on it and some data, and it doesn't work. And so I was like, well, maybe it's just that one particular SIM card. But then, like, one of my roommates in the hostel there, he's from Norway. He's like, I've got a nano SIM card for my iPhone. You can put it in, just see if mine works, And his didn't work either. So it's like, apparently AT&T did not unlock my phone, like they said. So I emailed them again earlier in the week, got another confirmation that congratulations, your phone's unlocked, just got to restore. And I restored my phone 5 fucking times, and it still is not unlocked. So I'm dealing with that right now. So I have service when I'm on Wi-Fi, so I can, I can use my laptop or my phone. But I only have use of my phone really in Wi-Fi, which is, when I'm walking down the streets in the city, like I can't use it. So that's a real pain. Like, to check like metro stops or, stuff like that. Like, I downloaded like a metro app here in Hamburg, and I just can't really use it unless I, check everything ahead of time before I leave the hostel and write it all down and all this. But so that's a major obstacle that I'm having to deal with right now. And I need to like somehow contact AT&T. But again, like I said, I did the whole process and they sent it through and said it was working, but I don't know what it is. So I think
maybe you'll get in luck. Maybe someone's listening.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
nobody's listening.
Nobody's listening. Nobody. Um, so anyways, that's something I got to deal with. I mean, I'm getting by,
Yeah.
but it's making things more difficult for sure. I
Right.
keep telling myself, I'm like, shit, if I was traveling when I was 21, I wouldn't even have any of this, available
Yeah.
at all. So,
Yeah, for sure.
so I'm still much better off than I would have been back then. But I'm just spoiled, I guess.
Yeah. It's easy to become dependent. I mean, the last time I went over there was like 9 years ago, and that was the first thing I noticed when I got off the plane was, oh, my phone doesn't work.
Yeah.
I have no access. I mean, it was, you're less dependent on it back then, but still.
Yeah. Like everybody's
Something
really,
nice.
really dependent on their phones now.
Right.
So anyway, so that's one thing that I'm going to go to Amsterdam. Well, I guess this is another damn thing. So I'm going to hang on a second.
Is that okay.
Dude, go ahead.
I was just going to say, was that a Holland joke with the dam and all that?
No.
Because I'm not going to allow you to make puns on this.
No,
fucking
that
podcast.
was not an intended pun. No.
Okay.
Um,
One more, man. One more, and I'm hanging up.
it wasn't intended.
Intended or otherwise.
Shit. I'm really going to watch myself. So,
Walk the line.
so
ahead.
here's another thing. Yeah. So, okay. So I guess overall, I must say that I'm learning a lot on this trip. Mainly, I'm learning what not to do. And I've early on realized that I just have to accept that I'm going to make a fool of myself every single day. And I just
Right.
have to be okay with that.
Yeah.
Because just being somewhere where, I don't understand the language, I don't understand the culture, I'm totally out of my element. I'm going to make a fool of myself. And I finally come to accept that because I've done it a lot in just the past week.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm learning a lot of what not to do. And just making
Such as.
stupid little mistakes. Like, so I was supposed to go to Amsterdam tomorrow. I have a hostel here in Hamburg until like tomorrow morning I check out. I went ahead and booked like 3 days hostels or 3 nights in a hostel this week in Amsterdam, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And I booked a train ticket for Monday to go to Amsterdam. So I had it all worked out. And I discovered today that I booked the train ticket for Tuesday, not Monday. So, and the reason is, and I finally figured this out, is the calendars are different. European calendar starts with Monday, whereas I'm used to the American calendar that starts with Sunday. So I clicked on the second day in that week's row when I was scheduling the train ticket online. I clicked on the second day in, which for them is Tuesday, not Monday. And I just didn't realize the date. And yeah, that was a really stupid mistake. So,
Yeah. Don't they flip flop the day and the month also?
They do. Well, so that adds to the confusion. Which actually, the way they do it is actually more logical because it goes day, month, year. So it's a logical progression of size of time. So the way they do it is actually, I think, more logical than what we do. But that takes some getting used to because like for September 9th, the 8th and 9 are flipped, and so that I guess I just. I clicked on that second day. I didn't really pay attention to the number of what the day was. Or at least I guess I did and just didn't realize I was a day off with thinking what today was, or this was yesterday. But anyway, so yeah, that was a major brain fart, man. Oh my God.
So you're homeless for a night is what you're saying?
Yeah. So, and I booked a hostel in Amsterdam for Monday night, which I cannot cancel because I realized within the 20-hour cancellation period that, so I'm losing money on Monday night stay because I'm not going to be in Amsterdam till Tuesday. So luckily, this girl who was showing me around today offered for me to stay, crash on her couch tomorrow night. So I have a place to stay tomorrow night.
That's cool.
But I'm losing money on the hostel that I'm not staying in. But so it's all coming out in the wash, but it's just kind of ridiculous.
Little goof ups like that, huh?
Yeah. A lot of little goof ups like that. Yeah, but no, it all worked out. So I have a place to stay tomorrow, and I'll be on the way to Amsterdam on Tuesday. So I'll take a train there, and then I'm.
And then we'll never see you again.
Exactly. So I'm a little behind on my planning. I planned to be like 2 weeks ahead, always knowing where I was going to be, where I was staying, how I was getting there.
Yeah.
And just leading up to the trip, like with everything getting pushed back with the closing of the house,
Yeah.
excuse me, constantly, I was real like hesitant to book any other train tickets or plane tickets or anything. I just didn't want to lose any money. If something did come down to it, like where I just couldn't leave, like I had to stay in the States. So I was hesitant to plan and book anything. So I'm behind with my planning, and I think that's affected when I reach out to people on Couchsurfer. It's just too late notice for them. They've either already got somebody crashing with them, or they're out of town or whatever. So I've been trying to catch up with that, and like I've finally gotten a little bit ahead with notifying or reaching out to people. And so I actually have a confirmed place to stay in Brussels for 2 nights, and a probably 50-50 possibility for Bruges for 2 nights. So I'm kind of far enough ahead, because that'll be a week from now, and like I got a confirmation a couple of days ago, and I've been reaching out to them, sometime last week. So I'm slowly getting ahead, and I think it's going to start working out that I can find more people like on Couchsurfer, so I won't have to spend so much money with the hostels and stuff.
Yeah,
and it's better too. I mean, it's cool in the hostels to meet other travelers and stuff from all over, and that's really cool. But it's also cool with the Couchsurfing, because you're staying with somebody who lives in that city and they know their way around and all that.
Yeah.
So this girl that was showing me around today, like she lives here, so she knows all the places to go. So that was cool to just me aimlessly wandering. So her name was Neela, and actually I met her through Couchsurfing. I'd sent her a request for when I was here, going to be here in Hamburg, and she couldn't host me this weekend because she already had somebody. But she's like, hey, let's meet up for a drink, and we can chat, and I can show you around the town and stuff. So she couldn't host me, but she offered to show me around, which was totally cool. And then when I was hanging out with her today is when I found out that I had the wrong plane ticket. So she actually offered me a place to stay. She's like, well, my couch isn't booked tomorrow night, so you're welcome to stay. So it all totally worked out.
It's such a weird thing to say. My couch isn't booked. It just sounds so strange. So
I'm not homeless.
Right. Okay, good.
I'm not going to be out.
I'm sure everybody's relieved.
They would have been like, he deserves to sleep on the streets for making a stupid mistake like that. What did he look at when he booked the ticket?
Monday and Tuesday are not the same thing. Sleep in a gutter.
Yeah, exactly. You're an idiot.
Pay for your crimes by sleeping in the fucking gutter.
Yeah, exactly.
I was going to ask you about the hostels, because I stayed in a hostel when I went to London when I was in high school, living over there, and we stayed in a hostel 2 nights, I guess, 2 different hostels or whatever. But even just the one picture that you sent or that you posted from inside the hostel looks like the hostels I remember. They just seemed dark, and like it seemed like, well, here's a bed, lie down.
Right.
Until you're done. Lie down until you're done, and then get out.
Right.
And it's like, just the picture you have is all bright and nice. I was just kind of curious, like, if you could describe.
Which picture was that? What did I put?
You posted the picture of yourself posting pictures or something. With the wine bot.
With the wine bot. The one with wine bot.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Actually, that's the hospital I'm in right now.
Yeah,
it's pretty nice. It's actually the first hostel I stayed in Copenhagen, actually, I think was my favorite. That one was awesome. But the cool thing about that first hostel in Copenhagen was, the downstairs lobby. It's like plenty of spaces, a lot of places to seat, a lot of couches, tables, but it's also a bar. So at nighttime, everybody's hanging out there. It was a very social environment. Like everybody hung out there, having drinks, meeting people, talking. It was just an awesome atmosphere. And like the people who ran the place were like totally cool. It was just a really cool vibe there, and the facilities, everything was just great. And like, of course, like the people I stayed with too. All my roommates, I was in like a 6-bed hostel there. Like 3 kids from the UK. I say kids, they're 19, but still, they're a hell of a lot younger than me. And then like this guy and girl from Norway, and everybody's super cool, and like we hung out and stuff. But like the second hostel I stayed at in Copenhagen, I only stayed for like one night, and it just didn't have that vibe. Like everybody just kind of kept to themselves. There was no real common area to hang out in. So it's all it's all across the board. Like but the one I'm in now is kind of, I'd say, probably in between the two. But there's a nice little lounge area. That's where I posted that picture with WineBot and uploading the pictures and stuff. But yeah. Some of them are pretty nice, man.
Substantially cheaper than hotels.
Yeah, I mean, right now, like during the weekend, the prices can get jacked up, and of course, the ones I've been staying in recently are really close to like the city centers. Like the Urban House, which is the first one I stayed at, was like, I mean, it's right there, smack dab in the middle of Copenhagen. I mean, like you can walk to everything, and like so it was. I think I paid like somewhere between $30 and $35 a night. So
yeah,
and I think the weekend. Well, I didn't stay over the weekend because I didn't know if I was going to be in Amsterdam, so I didn't book any farther than Thursday. So I ended up having to book a last-minute hostel Friday night. That was a different one that wasn't as good, and but I paid way too much for that because it was last minute and it was Friday. So
yeah. What did you do while you were in Copenhagen?
I just walked around a lot. Well, the first day when I got there at 6 a.m., I just wandered like a zombie, like until I could check into the hostel. Yeah. And I had no idea what I was doing, and I was a zombie. But I found a coffee shop, got some Wi-Fi, kind of checked in with everybody, checked my email, stuff like that. And so I didn't do much well, let's see. Yeah, that night I think I just went to the bar downstairs, had a few drinks. Met some people. But then the second day, like I went walking all over. I went down to Christiania. I don't know if you've heard of that section of Copenhagen, but it's kind of like it's Copenhagen, but it's kind of separate from Copenhagen. It's kind of its own little commune area. And they have what they call the Green Light District, which when you enter that part of Christiania, it's there's a sign that says, no photos, no running, it causes panic, and selling hash is illegal. And of course, you walk in and there's like all these booths and stuff, and
everybody's running.
Yeah, no, with like camo. Yeah, exactly. With camo netting, and like you can walk up there and there's a guy. I mean, you can't see their face, and you can buy pretty much whatever you want. So it's an interesting section of Copenhagen, but it's all just in that one little community. It's like this enclave or whatever. I don't know what you would call it actually.
What is it?
What do you mean?
Like, it's just a separated out area? Is it a neighborhood?
It's like a neighborhood, but it's just kind of its own thing. So like when you enter, it's like, it says now entering Christiania. And then when you leave, the back of that sign says, welcome to the EU.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of, they consider themselves their like own little entity. It's an interesting place, a really cool place. And then, walked around just.
No running. I'm sorry, I'm hung up on the no running thing.
Well, because of what goes on there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of paranoia. And if they see people running, they might think the police are coming. I don't know. But no running.
I wonder how often someone just goes running through that fucking place.
So, and then that night, so I actually went out, hit a couple bars with those three kids from the UK, which was it's weird for me as an American. These kids are 19 and I'm out at bars drinking with them, like, oh, right. And they've been drinking for like 2 years, like it's just weird. And I think the drinking age in Copenhagen is like actually 16 or something. It's something ridiculously low compared to my American perspective, but right. But yeah, no, they were cool guys. And I mean, like mainly just talked about like differences between British culture and American culture. Like, so do you say this or do you say this? That kind of thing. So, but no, it was cool. I see what I pretty much tended to do because I didn't have anybody in Copenhagen to like kind of show me around. I just wandered aimlessly like all day, just with a camera and just finding alleyways and stuff and just taking a shit ton of pictures. Went and saw the Little Mermaid there in Copenhagen. I don't know if you know about that. It's like a famous mermaid statue. So that's on one side of Copenhagen. So. Yeah, a lot of cool stuff. I mean, there's tons of stuff I missed. So, there's Tivoli Gardens, which I was really close to, which is like the second oldest amusement park in the world, I think. I think it's second oldest. I didn't go. I didn't go in though. Like I thought about going in, but I was like, yeah, maybe next time I'm coming through. Like, but yeah, it looked cool. It's a pretty cool looking amusement park. So there's stuff like that that I just did not end up doing. But
Yeah. Why did you end up going down to Hamburg?
I don't know. Just
You had mentioned something. You had mentioned something about possibly going to Berlin from Copenhagen.
Yes. Well, I'm trying to time out Bruges with some friends of mine who are or a friend of mine who's coming up with another group of his friends. They flew over to Paris or will be flying to Paris. I'm not sure what his schedule is, but anyways, they're going to be in Bruges like the 15th and 16th. So I'm trying to time out when I get there just to so I can meet up with them for a night or so. So I've kind of like tailored my route towards like to head towards Bruges and get there in time.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hamburg was like kind of a cheap bus ride from Copenhagen, and then like another just a pretty decent priced train ride over to Amsterdam.
Oh, okay.
So it was just like, oh, that's a cool stop, and I don't know a lot about it, but I'll stop in and check it out. So, but I definitely want to hit Berlin. I don't know when. It's probably because I'm going to keep migrating south after I hit the UK. So Berlin's probably going to be on my next trip into the EU, which will be springtime, because I'll have to get out after my 90 days, and also it'll be getting really cold, which I don't want to deal with. So,
right, yeah,
so it'll probably be late spring. I'll probably hit like the parts of Europe that I didn't hit. I'll probably come in like Eastern Europe, hit all of that, hit Berlin, and anything else that I didn't hit. Switzerland, or if I don't hit Italy on the way down, hit Italy, that kind of thing.
You want to give the bullet point description of what you're kind of shooting to do over the next year?
Okay.
Like we talked about it last week. You kind of gave me an idea of where you're going, but just
a rough idea.
Yeah,
so Copenhagen was first.
Because you have 90 days. You're allowed to stay within a certain number of countries in the EU, and then you have to get out for 90 days before you can come back, basically, right?
Exactly. And if you overstay your 90-day visa, then
they kill you.
Yeah, exactly. They kill you. But no, they'll fine you, and you pretty much can't come back for like 6 years or something crazy like that.
Oh, wow.
So went to Copenhagen. I'm in Hamburg now.
Mm-hmm.
Hamburg, sorry.
Hamburg.
And I'm heading to Amsterdam, not Monday, but Tuesday now. And
why is that again?
I don't know. It just
ass. Carry on.
And then I'm actually going to spend a week in Amsterdam to try to get some things straight. The money from my house sale should finally be wired to my bank. Like, got to get this phone situation taken care of.
Right.
So I'm just want to just take a moment so I'm not constantly on the go. I can just chill out for a day. So I'm going to spend about a week in Amsterdam just so I can get kind of used to the city and I can kind of settle in and get some stuff taken care of. And then I head to Brussels, then Bruges, a couple nights apiece. And then I'll head to the UK. I want to go see Dismal Land before it's closed down, which is the Banksy thing.
End of September.
That closes down. So I want to see that. So, and since I'm going over there, I might as well, see Scotland and Ireland while I'm in the UK, and then hop back in probably to France. Just kind of wander around France. Definitely want to see Paris, and then some of the other cities there in France, and finally get a chance to practice the French that I've been studying. But with the French, I've only been doing book learning really, so I haven't really put it into practice. So it'll be interesting to actually start putting it into practice and talking to people.
Practice your French on the people in the world who will be the least impressed by it.
Exactly. Well, but no, I'm saying it'd be nice to have somebody to speak to, so I can just at least practice, and then they can correct me, not saying that right at all.
Correct you by walking away.
Yeah. So anyway, spend some time in France, spend some time in Spain. And so I'm hoping I'll be in southern Spain about the time my 90 days is running out. And I still haven't figured out if the UK is going to count against me or if the ticker stops while I'm in the UK, because it's not part of the Schengen. So, but since my clock's already started ticking as soon as I stepped in Copenhagen, some people say it keeps ticking. Some people say it doesn't. It's kind of confusing, and I've never been able to get a straight answer from Like I sent emails to like Denmark immigration asking, and I never got a response and stuff like that. But anyway, so southern tip of Spain by the time my 90 days are done, and then probably take a ferry over to Tangier, spend some time in Morocco, take a short plane flight over to Cairo, spend maybe a day or two there and see the pyramids. And then do another hop to Jordan, and then I'll go from Jordan to Israel, see Jerusalem. And then from there, I think I may hop to, so a lot of these flights, like once, I've been using buses and trains, but a lot of the flights to hop from city to city, depending on where you're going, are really cheap. So like little flights are actually really affordable. So anyways, probably hop from Jerusalem to maybe, I want to see Istanbul. And then I think from there, probably Dubai. And then from Dubai, that's kind of like the gateway to the south, to the east. So I'll probably do Southeast Asia from that point on. So I'll probably go from Dubai to Mumbai, India, kind of weave through India, hit a couple places there, just kind of keep hopping through Southeast Asia. I want to see Thailand. I want to see Cambodia, Vietnam, maybe do Malaysia, Indonesia. I haven't really planned that far out ahead. I just have a general idea of Southeast Asia. Maybe go as far as, hitting Japan.
What's the accommodation situation in those areas? Yeah, the same kind of deal as like, hostels and crowd surfing or couch surfing and all that. You back?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
That may have been on my end. My computer went to something.
Yeah, it just said that there was a connection problem. But did you get any of that? What I asked?
No, ask that again.
I said I was just asking about the accommodation situation out in the East and in the Middle East, as far as like if you've looked into like, do they have hostels? Do they have couch surfing? I said crowd surfing last time too.
Did you? I didn't catch it last time.
Yeah, well, don't worry, it's recorded.
Okay. So they have both actually. I mean, it's Couchsurfer is surprisingly very, it's pretty worldwide, and hostels too. And from like talking to my friend Jonathan, who's been traveling for 2 years, I've got a lot of good advice from him. Yeah, I mean, like there's hostels all over, and actually over there, like in Cambodia and stuff too, like from what it sounds like from him, it's like they're really freaking cheap. Like you could probably get a room for like $10 or something, So hostels, couchsurfing is the first option, and then hostels is the second option as far as accommodations as I'm traveling, and they're pretty much all over.
So you're shooting to try to get as far east as possible, and then bounce back to Europe or something at that point.
Yes, like late spring is when I'm going to head back towards Europe. And because my time will be reset and weather will be getting better. And I'll just, like I say, go see parts of Europe that I couldn't see on the way down.
Because what we were talking about doing is maybe getting together on here every couple of weeks, see where you're at. If there's any kind of interesting stories you'd like to relate, like mixing up Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah, exactly. I'm serious. It's like the calendar's fault. It wasn't mine.
Yeah, it's the calendar.
What are they doing putting Monday as the first day of the week? Man, shit.
Backwards ass European.
That was my dope moment of today. I've had plenty of that. So there's going to be a lot of that.
Yeah. Well, that's good. That's what everybody's looking forward to.
Yeah.
That makes good stories.
How did Chip fuck up this week?
Yeah. Who did he offend this week?
Exactly. Yeah. Well, yeah. Like, so another little stupid thing I did, I'm used to using the metro and subway. I mean, in the New York and stuff, right? So
yeah.
I know how that works. So like I was in the metro, I bought a ticket. It took me forever to find the kiosk to buy the ticket, right? And then like I go down to the subway, and and I'm trying to I think it was here in Hamburg, because I was trying to read German, and I was like, I don't understand where these lines are going or anything. And I finally figured it out, to get where I wanted to go. But I was like, well, where do I put my ticket? Like I'm used to like I said in New York, you put it in the turnstile, and it feeds through, and you go through the turnstile, and that's that's how it works. That's how they take your
Right.
ticket, or they punch your ticket. And I'm like, so where do I, and I'm standing there and the train's pulling up and I'm like, holy crap. And there's these little little stands that say like, I guess in German, or maybe this was in Copenhagen, in Danish, it said something that kind of looked like check in.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, okay, so maybe that's it. And I saw somebody like come by and swipe something next to that little sensor. I was like, oh, okay, that's it, So I go up with my little single ride paper ticket and I hold it up to the sensor and nothing happens. And I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I tried a couple times. I'm like, it's not working. And I see the next, like some other local come up and they have like, like a pass book or whatever. That's, I guess, like for people who commute every day, it's like a legit thing. And then she swiped that on the thing. And I'm like, oh, it's not even for the ticket I have. But she totally saw me trying to take this little paper ticket and scan it at this machine. And I was like, oh God, I look like a fucking idiot.
What fucking country are you from?
Yeah. I'm like, okay, well, I was like, I don't know where to put my fucking ticket. But I got on the train. Nobody ever checked my ticket.
Nice.
Okay, well, whatever. And, after using it quite a few times, I realized like, okay, well, they just don't check your fucking ticket. And then, like talking to a few people, it was like, yeah, they don't, there's nowhere you put your ticket. They just, every once in a while, they'll do like a spot check,
Yeah,
you may
okay.
know this. You lived over here.
Yeah.
I guess, well, you were pretty young when you lived over here, but it's just like every once in a while somebody will come on and ask for your ticket. And if you don't have it, then you'll get a citation. But so far nobody's ever come to check my ticket. So theoretically, I could have gotten on all the time and just never paid. But you never know when they're going to come check. So
I remember that actually when I used to ride the city buses or whatever. It was the same thing. Nobody ever bought tickets, but that was what they, you get on there, you try to spy the guy who's going to be checking tickets if he's there, and then jump off the bus if you see him. But,
exactly right. Yeah. So and I think it was like I think it was last night. It was pretty late. I think it was really late. And like Neela, the girl that I met through couchsurfing, who showed me around, she invited me out to a party last night. So I went out and met her, and of course, like not having cell service totally was a pain because I think I left here at like 9 p.m. Like I was texting back and forth, and she's like, I'm just like a stop away at this party. You can come down here. I'll walk down to the station, and she gave me the station name and meet you. And of course, so like I went to the station, and this is the first time I used the subway here. So I had no idea where the ticket booth was. So like I went down, and like it wasn't on the platform. And I was like, holy crap. I mean, it took me like a good 20, again, this is another just moment. I'm just like, I'm a fucking idiot. But like, it took me forever to find the ticket booth. I eventually had to go like all the way back up to like the street level and like go through another building. It was just insanely, inconveniently located.
Just start yelling at people, where's the ticket booth?
And I asked a number of people. I even asked somebody who worked in like one of the little restaurants down in the subway, and he told me, he's like, oh no, it's down there on the platform. I'm like, okay. And I went down on the platform. It wasn't there. It was just like, I mean, I wasted like a good 20 or 30 minutes. And I'm like, this girl is like waiting at that station to pick me up. I have no way of contacting her. And I was just like, oh God, I just, I feel like an idiot. I finally got a ticket, went down, got on the train, went one stop, and she like was about to leave when I showed up. I'm like, oh God, I'm so sorry. And I was like, I don't have any kind of data service. I can't communicate. But anyway, so like I went to this party with her, met a bunch of people, and hung out for a good while. And then when we left, like I walked back to the station. Like she was going the opposite direction or whatever, and like I was like, and she's got like a pass card to ride it whenever. But I was like, do you know where the ticket booth is for this one? And she's like, no, I don't. And she's like, just get on the train. She's like, this late at night, nobody's gonna check. I'm like, all right, screw it. So I just got on the train without a damn ticket. I was just like, I hope they don't check.
And you're immediately deported.
Yeah, exactly. Get the hell out of our country.
Yeah.
And you can't come back for
fucking American.
Yeah. So anyway, so I've already broken the law. My first night in the city.
And admitted it on something that's being recorded.
Exactly. Well, I don't use my real name. Chip's not my real name. They'll never find me.
You're the only Chip in Europe right now. The only guy in Europe going by Chip.
Yeah. Well, so, okay, of course, like every British person I talk to is like, I tell them my name and they're just like, they kind of laugh, and I'm like,
Right.
and I found this out like actually from like this Brit who was like over in the U.S. This was about a year ago. I was at a party, met this this girl that was from Britain, and I told her my name, and she's like, "That is hilarious." She's like, "That's the name that we use in Britain when we like make up our fake American name, like when we act like American." She's like Chip, and I can't remember what the other name was, but it was some other just really ridiculous name, and. So she's like, yeah, that's like the number one name that everybody, like when the Brits just making fun of Americans or acting like we're American, that's the name we choose. I'm like, dear God, I need to change my name. So, and then like I met these 3 kids from the UK, and they said the exact same thing, and I'm just like, oh God.
What's your name? Chip. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
I'm the quarterback of the team.
Yeah. So they'll never find me.
Yeah. This is obviously a fake name.
Exactly.
I'm amazed there's only been 2 people who've come into the stairwell since you've been in there. That's pretty impressive.
Actually, yeah, I am too. I think there is another from the because it goes to the rooms, the floor, all the floors with the rooms. I'm at like the opening towards like the lobby. So I think there's actually on the other side there's a stairwell too. So maybe people use that one more. So maybe I made a good choice. Yeah. So, well, anyways, yeah. Actually, you know what? My laundry is in the dryer, and there's only one dryer. So if it's turned off, somebody might be pissed at me now. So actually,
Nice.
yeah. Let's go ahead and wrap this up, and then I'll go check my laundry.
There you go. I'm gonna cut all this out, by the way. So all this bullshit at the end.
All this bullshit.
Yeah, okay. Well, then I'll plan to try to get in touch again in a couple of weeks, and we'll see where we are at that point.
Cool. That sounds good, man.
Good deal. All right, man. Well, take care.
All right, will do. Thanks, brother.
There it is, episode 1. Got it done. Just want to do some housekeeping here at the end. Chip's blog, chipjohnsonfilm.com. Chip Johnson Film, all one word. Contact us via email, twiapodcast@gmail.com. We'll have a Facebook page set up pretty soon with pictures, and you can interact with us there. I'd like to thank my wife, Sarah, for the use of our theme music, and we should be back in a couple of weeks with a new episode. Hopefully this one, the turnaround time on this one will be a little bit quicker. Thanks for checking out the podcast, and I hope you come back again next time. See ya. Yeah, I went to adjust my volume, and then it went bzzz, and that was it.